Hello, everybody, and welcome to March. I know this video is coming a bit late, but I initially planned on recording this earlier, but life just got in the way and things kept happening, and I never got the opportunity to record it. So that's what I'm doing now. I also realized that February came and went, and I never recorded a video detailing my experiences in January and things I learned and goals for the new month. But I did write a blog post on that, which is um, in the description box, and I have also written a blog post for March, which I will also link in the description box. So, if you want to know in full detail and without me going all over the place, you can check out those blog posts, read them, and who knows, it might just bless you. So, anyway, I just want to talk about some things that I didn't really talk about in my blog post because it would have made it so long. But February was a handful. February was, something about life is that God really expresses His grace through difficult situations. So, in February, God was gracious. I saw a lot of His grace and His mercy and His loving kindness and His deliverance and His restoration. Because, ideally, without God, it would have been um chaotic and destructive. But I thank God that I had to go through all of that because God really taught me so much in February, so much about how something that looks as if it's a disappointment can turn out as a blessing. So one aspect that I didn't really talk about in my blog post is the presidential elections that happened in February, um, around the ending of February. And normally, I'm not someone who is invested in politics. I don't like it because it's very nasty, it's very messy, and a lot of times insincere and manipulative. I remember when I used to serve, um, I was in the political unit, and during our programs, like watching senators just blatantly lie. Oh my God. I was so frustrated and angry because I would see all these leaders and they would just say the thing so sweetly and they would just say it. But anyway, that's by the way. I don't really like politics. So when this election started, in my heart, I wish for the best, but I was initially neutral about it until one day I was praying and God convicted me. I was like, sis, gotta pray for this nation. I want you to pray for Nigeria. And so I started praying and I kept praying for our deliverance. I prayed that the new order and the things that used to look normal as in the past there would be a breaking, like a shedding of a skin to welcome something new. Like all those things that used to make Nigerians before the corruption, the wickedness, the fraud, and everything, that we can enter into a new sphere through which God will be glorified. And I was praying, and I remember bombarding the internet, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, and I started asking people to pray practically. And there were even one or two encounters where someone was like, prayers don't work. Yeah, prayers don't work. But that's how I knew it was from God because it was essential that we prayed at that time. God was doing something essential, and I felt as if I was being called to do my part. And so I asked for prayers. And it felt like a confirmation when I was scrolling through Instagram and I saw a man of God also calling for prayers for Nigeria. And a lot of the mandates they were praying about were things that was convicting me of. And I was like, oh, yes, this is God. So, during the election and everything, I joined like a meeting room of people praying, and we're just praying and we're praying for the deliverance of the nation. And I felt held to the responsibility, like, okay, you cannot just fold your arms, you have to pray for this nation. And we prayed and we prayed, and the elections were conducted, and our expectations did not come to be. And oh, initially, when that waiting period, I just imagined, I know it cannot be compared to it, but I just imagined the waiting period, those 3 days where Jesus had been buried, and the disciples were like, is something going to happen now? If something that's going to turn this situation around is going to happen, I think this is the right time. And day one passed, and nothing. Day two passed, nothing. And day three, and the resurrection we were expecting was not what we saw. And yeah, I was brought down, but eventually I found peace, because I know that God has a specialty. He has a specialty in turning difficult situations like into glorious ones. Like Lazarus was dead 3 days, he was starting to stink, and God still told him to come forth. And I know one thing about God, even in this nation, Nigeria, if God says today you receive your deliverance, regardless of whomever is sitting on that throne or whomever has been declared, like things can turn around. God works in mysterious ways. And it's hard to say these things and believe these things, especially when you are seeing what you're seeing, and when you're expecting what you're expecting. Am I saying, especially when you are seeing what you're seeing and when you are experiencing what you're experiencing? But the fact is that, see, the goodness of God is above the perception of time and space. And see, somehow is going to make a way. And that's why in the beginning of this video I said I thank God, because even the difficult situations, even the harsh situation, God turns it for something good. You know me, I'm the kind of person who likes to parallel things to my situation. So once this election thing started, I was like, okay, God, I am, what's the word, superimposing it with my own condition, that I have been waiting, we are waiting, I want to see the hand of God. But somehow it still reinforced in my mind that, see, God can turn anything around, and all you have to do, your responsibility is to stand firm and hold fast in the faith and in prayer and in believing and not giving up. And basically that's what I learned. That is what I learned. Mm. So I will recommend you again to go and read my blog post for March, read the one for February, read the ones I've been writing for the past 4 years, to see how my perception has changed through the years. I was reading one the other day, and all the things I was complaining about, like I don't have a laptop, my phone is bad, it's glitchy, I want to write and everything. Like all those prayers were answered. Yeah, it's so awesome. So please read it as we share in my growth together. Thanks for watching. Bye.